What is the outlook then for Chinese stocks from here?
Yeah, it's hard to see it being anything but bearish right now. I mean, we may get some respite from the overnight rebound in U.S. shares. As you say, down more than 21% from its peak. It's been a pretty rapid decline since its high in February. And that market has really been weighed down by concerns in tech stocks in particular. China has taken an increasingly aggressive approach towards the private sector in the technology sphere. I think the concern there is that these companies are basically too big and too influential. And, you know, the heads of these companies, such as Jack Ma, Wang Xing, or May.14, really need taking down a peg or two. And that bodes badly for companies who sort of depend on influential leadership by people like that. So with that environment likely to prevail, as well as, you know, concerns over inflation, which feeds into monetary tightening in China, you'd expect that you know, these concerns to persist going forward.
Richard, speaking of a market that's been hit, you know, many angles, I'll even add COVID into that, is Taiwan. It's been quite a week. I mean, entered a correction yesterday. What's the expectation based on the people that you guys are speaking to?
Yeah, it's very interesting because obviously if you look at MSCI China and you look at the TAIEX index in Taiwan, these are two gauges that are both dominated by tech. Tech, obviously, the rally in tech stocks globally has been a huge theme in the past few years, one where it was almost impossible to lose money on and one where people have taken increasing amounts of leverage to benefit from. And the fact that these two indexes are doing so badly, I mean, if you compare the MSCI World Index is only off about 3% from a record, the disconnect between these sort of centers of technology and the rest of the world really is growing increasingly glaring. I mean, in China, the companies are predominantly internet-based. In Taiwan, they're sort of industry-based, semiconductor manufacturers, foundries, etc. The big sort of lesson, I think, that you can draw from Taiwan, yes, there were concerns over COVID and other things, but really this is what happens when you get this sort of huge tower of leverage built up. When things start to reverse, and particularly in Taiwan, it was very retail-driven, like we've seen in quite a few other markets. People start to panic. They want to try and get out before they get crushed, and they end up getting caught up in this crash. And, of course, forced selling spurred by margin calls, just exaggerating things even more. So you definitely have to be concerned, I would think, if you're a leveraged global investor heavily who's piled into tech, when you see this basically crash over in this side of the world and not yet replicated elsewhere.